No, don't all rush at once, I can manage. I could have been dead then. Nobody cared. I didn't know there's still war then, love. Supposed to keep you warm in this weather. By gum, there's a strong smell of mothballs down here. It's only fun, I'm a comedian. Usually. Look at him up there, spent all day doing his hair and then come out without it.
It's the Variety Club of Great Britain's Show Business Awards for 1991. Now, please welcome your host, Jonathan Ross.
Thank you very much indeed. Hello. I beam at you fully fleshed and refreshed from the stage of the London Hilton Hotel, where all those present are thirsting like cactus plants to discover which stars of stage, screen, TV and radio are tomorrow morning going to have to make a bit more space on the old sideboard for entertainment's most glorious knick-knack, the Variety Club's Silver Heart. And make room, they certainly will, because even in this age of seemingly endless award ceremonies, I think everyone realises that this is the big one. Well, despite current appearances, the Variety Club does not exist to provide famous faces with free lunches. Its work, its influence, its unbounded care and hard-won cash exert their magic in very different surroundings to this cosy, yet unreal air of the Larkins front parlour in which we gather today. For whatever the trends in entertainment, whatever the machinations of this industry, behind the scenes, the Variety Club of Great Britain remains constant. This mighty worldwide children's charity whose ideals and aims are dependent not on showbiz styles and attitudes, but on simple human nature. To better illustrate this, let's link up now to Sybil Ruscoe in Yorkshire, whose surroundings are far more typical of the day-to-day workings of this marvellous organisation. Sybil, are you receiving us?
Yes, I am, Jonathan. Hello to you, Jonathan, and hello to everyone down in London, where we're all actually watching what's going on down there. I'm at the Variety Club's Children's Day Hospital, which is based here at the St James's Hospital in Leeds, and it's a really unique adventure because it's joining together the Yorkshire Health Authority and the Variety Club. They've both put £1 million together to pay for this hospital, and what a place it is. It's got a unit for abused children, it's got a cancer unit, it has a unit for cystic fibrosis sufferers, and it has a regional child development unit. But the great thing about this place is that it doesn't really look like a hospital. It's bright and it's airy and it's colourful, and they've got some pretty amazing staff here as well, as you've no doubt seen. But the emphasis is fun. Stick with us, we'll show you more later on.
There you go, Sybil Ruscoe, ladies and gentlemen. And we will be returning to Sybil in Yorkshire a bit later on. Now, at this point in my script, it says, "Greet Chief Barker." And I was under the impression that he had retired to run an antique shop. Certainly hadn't heard him called Chief before. Obviously, Ronnie's been doing little dances with wolves. But having made my rib-tickling play on words, I now realise what a liberty I am taking with a potent tradition. It is indeed an honour to ask you to welcome aboard to present the awards on behalf of the Variety Club, their very first lady, Chief Barker, Mrs. Marsha Ray Ratcliffe. And so to the first recipient of this modern-day equivalent of the apes, ivory and peacocks of old. It comes under the media category Independent Radio Personality. And how very apt that word is, personality. This man needs to project more personality like Niagara needs a hosepipe ban. Though honoured here for services to radio, let's not forget that here is the man who first introduced to TV the revolutionary idea that viewers every now and then needed a damn good thrashing. But it's for his long-running daybreak wireless show we honour him today. Every morning on Capital Radio, he gently rouses London with an evergreen blend of games, outrage, ad-libbing and song, the overall effect being rather like a soda siphon up your pyjamas.
Chris Tarrant Breakfast Show on 95.8 FM, the most listened to commercial radio program in the world.
Tarrant in the morning.
But why?
95.8 Capital FM, London.
95.8 traffic up Tuesday morning, it's absolutely freezing, and the wind chill today could well get down to -10 during the day. Strong wind expected. Boy, I wish I was up in a little light aircraft, a sop with camel this morning. God, it'd be great to be up there. Just a little blanket round me, a little thin gruel to drink. Now, you know the big story this morning in the Sun?
What, Dorking?
No, this is the other story.
Oh.
I was not fondling a dolphin is the big story this morning, the big headline.
Oh, right.
I've just been checking this out. In the Times this morning, they've done it slightly different. They've got man denies lewd act with dolphin.
Oh!
And in the Sport, they've got man plays with dolphins doodah. Just thought I'd bring it to your attention. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. It's 17. He's here now. It's 17 past 9. Capital Breakfast on a Tuesday morning. It's really cold.
It's -2 at the moment, but it'll be a perishing -13 with the wind chill factor. Tonight, more frost, fog and mist, and down to 1 degree 34 Fahrenheit in the centre, and -3 27 Fahrenheit on your outskirts. Can I nominate my dad as my Christmas disaster?
Your father?
Well, yes, the thing is, he insists on washing up in the cold, sort of greasy washing up water, and he wraps up presents like
He
a
served me
gorilla.
someone who went round your house once. I remember he offered it as a drink.
That's quite right.
Rather unpleasant.
On 95.8, this is Capital FM.
Capital reports, and a 48-year-old woman in Los Angeles has married a 67-year-old man after unsuccessful marriages with all of his 4 children.
I just find radio so... I mean, I've been quoted a lot of times saying I much prefer radio. I actually think I'm better on radio anyway. I certainly look better on radio. I just prefer it. It's instant, it's immediate. There's none of the mucking about that you get with, people running about with clipboards all over the place, whatever. I mean, I did a well-known television show the other day, which I present. And I mean, the producer said to me in all seriousness, "What's your first ad-lib, Chris?" I think, what the hell? I don't know. I haven't done it yet. And which way are you going to look when you do it, I mean, I love radio. It's much more fun.
Each morning, we are merely the platoon to his Sergeant Bilko. Please welcome the Variety Club's independent radio personality for 1991, that hunk of purist cock-a-doodle-doo, Mr. Chris Tarrant.
Thank you very much, Variety Club. It's a very exciting time for everybody involved in radio, really, because, as you know, several national commercial stations are opening up the next few years. It's beginning to get much more competitive here. There are 15 stations now in London, but we haven't even started. There's something like 120 now in New York. There's 90 in Los Angeles. The things that I've just come back, the things they do over there to attract listeners, the competitions are quite mind-boggling. In a few days over there, I heard one lady win $1 million for knowing her birthday. True. Another lady, 82 years old, who has not got a driving license, won a £90,000 Porsche. And my favourite, a lady in one of the New York stations, she had to get 2 questions right, and she won a pair of silicone implants. What would have happened if she only got 1 right? I've no idea. Thank you very much. Great, thank you. Great day, Chris. I'm going to do a couple of...
You started off before you were doing all this kind of marvellous comedy stuff, you were a serious presenter, I believe, is that correct?
Very briefly, yes, I used to read the news on ATV Today. Why, Jonathan?
Well, we have, and you've also kind of reversed the trend, because most people start in radio, then work towards TV. You
Correct.
started in television and you worked your way up to radio.
But I am still available for television work.
We have a marvellous clip, a little bit of your early TV stuff, which I'd like to show people. Come on over here, Chris.
Oh,
and this is, Chris, you about 7 from the look of it. Roll the tape. Let's have a look at Chris in action here.
Sugar and spice and all things nice. That's what they always told me that little girls were made of. So what on earth happened to this one here? She's called... She bills herself the wickedest woman in the world. And she's the British and European wrestling champion. How on earth did you start doing this, love?
Oh, my dad's wrestler, and he taught me how to do it. Okay, sit back, everyone.
No, I mastered this.
Did you? Yes.
No problem, that's it.
Mr. Chris Tarrant, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. The next award is for that of Best Film Actress, and this is a real joy to announce. You know, one of the great fears in life I have is that when you look back at the fantastic catalogue of truly grand British movies, particularly the comedies, and wonder if we forever lost that unique brand of character acting. The Alistair Sims, the Grenfells, the Rutherfords, people who could sketch both minuscule and broadly within the same scene, even in the same sentence. Happily, such talent cannot be extinguished by gun-toting modern cynicism, and I hope our next recipient understands I seek neither to date nor to pigeonhole her style, but rather to celebrate its rare, timeless craft. It's as fresh as this.
Excuse me. Is this the tap class?
Oh my God, it's Princess Di.
Hi, I'm Mavis. I run the class. Can I help you?
Am I too late to join?
No. Let me just sign you up. Have you taken any tap before?
Well, I did start another class, yes. But to be perfectly honest, I didn't like the teacher.
Are you English?
How did you know?
Like a guess.
Oh, gee, I thought I'd lost my accent.
Mrs.
Andrews. Mrs. Lionel Andrews.
Andrews. Lionel. All right, and what should we call you?
Oh, yes, Vera.
Okay, Vera. Yeah. Welcome to class. Now, it's $10 for every lesson, and you can pay Mrs. Fraser after the class.
And I was wondering how many there were in the class.
Oh, not too many, just about the right amount.
They're like flies. They come out in the summer and then they just disappear in the winter.
Fine.
And is that where we get changed?
Yes. I'll have Sylvia show you.
No. That's all right. I can manage. I'll just get rid of these for you.
Thanks. Thanks a lot, Vera.
She is an inexhaustive powerhouse of accents, personalities and moods, and fortunately, she performs the best ones naturally. She is the Variety Club's film actress for 1991. Please welcome Julie Walters.
The career of Julie Walters began at the Everyman Theatre in Liverpool, when Willie Russell was the resident playwright. Educating Rita, of course, one of her great films, which won her an Academy Award nomination, and both the BAFTA and Golden Globe Best Actress Awards.
Oh, I thought you were going to whisper something to me. Well, I thought oh dear. I thought the hairstyle was over the top until I saw the acting, actually, in that one. But, oh, well, no, you've got marvellous taste, you people here at the Variety Club. Really, I'm really here to thank Lewis Gilbert for not just getting me out of the house and onto the silver screen, but I'm here to thank him and John Dark, his co-producer, for getting me through it, really. And also a great cast of people led by Liza Minnelli and of course my live-in lover toy boy Grant Roffey 34, because without him I could never have done it. So thanks anyway. Great, it's marvellous. Well done, all of you. Very good work. Thank you.
There you go. Yeah, this is the ritual. Well, even in these modern times, the partner to Best Film Actress is still Best Film Actor, so let's attend to that now. Our winner is someone who, when mouthing the immortal slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, possibly feels that Shakespeare was merely mouthing it. Slings and arrows of outrageous critics was probably what the bard would have settled on if he hadn't have had a bike rider waiting outside to take his script to the studio. I offer this view because a vocal few interpret this man's vision, energy and daring as precocious and somehow not playing by the dull old rules. Happily, the rest of us applaud warmly from balcony and stalls alike.
Roman. Oh, I've never seen anything like this. Oh, it's beautiful. I don't know what to say.
Thank you. It's always good.
Thank you.
No, it's not a bracelet, darling. It's an anklet. A very special anklet. Let's have your leg. It's really very old. The man I bought it from. explained to me that when a husband gives this to his wife, they become two halves of the same person. Nothing can separate them. Not even death.
So we're stuck with each other.
Either that or I've overpaid terribly for the thing.
The winner of Best Film Actor goes to Kenneth Branagh. Now, unfortunately, Kenneth can't be with us today because of other commitments. I'm sure we all know that you must make hay while the sun shines in this business, and a return spot on Jim Bowen's bullseye is not to be sniffed at. So here to accept the award on his behalf, who'd have thought it, is Mrs. Branagh and his co-star from Dead Again, Emma Thompson.
Mrs. Branagh since 1989, Emma Thompson, and as well as playing opposite him in Dead Again, she appeared with him in Fortunes of War. Her stage debut in Aladdin at Cambridge.
Just put this down. Ladies and gentlemen and everybody watching at the St James's Hospital. Ken, I'm here accepting this award on Ken's behalf because he's away filming, playing another German, and can't be here. But he wanted me to read the following. My sincere thanks to the Variety Club for honouring Dead Again in this way. The film was a great adventure for all us Brits involved. We were made so welcome in Hollywood and owe a great deal to our writer, producers, and splendid cast and crew. It made the picture an unforgettable experience. Now, happily, back home, to make some more British films, it's particularly gratifying that the Variety Club should once again encourage the work of people from this country even when working abroad. I accept this as a tribute to all the actors in Dead Again, and on their and my behalf, I'd like to thank you sincerely for this great honour and wish you the very best of luck with Gold Heart Day on February the 14th. So thanks very much.
In the old days, I would have said here that we're about to move from the big screen to the small one, but what with multiplex cinemas and the booming home entertainment centres, maybe things should be the other way around. But let's just say we're going from the screen on which you can't play video games to the one on which you can, to television, and the award for top ITV personality. Extraordinarily, this year, the award goes to an entire cast. Just how many awards we'll need, I'm not quite sure. At last count, there were 4 adults and 8 kids, but with this family, they may have produced quite a few more in the couple of days since we last met. Still, the more the merrier, as they'd probably say themselves. Yes, that whiff of jasmine, apple blossom, full pork pies and pungent porter means we're about to drift, if not into heaven, then surely the house next door. The Variety Club's independent television personalities of the year are the cast of The Darling Buds of May, and somehow finding their way out of the kitchen, please greet Mariette, Charlie and Ma, otherwise appearing as Catherine Zeta-Jones, Philip Franks and Pam Ferris.
The Darling Buds of May, the series that made television history by going straight into the TV viewing charts at #1 and staying there for the whole series.
Well, thank you very much to all at the Variety Club of Great Britain. Thanks to Excelsior Productions, everybody at Yorkshire Television, and in particular to the spirit of H.E. Bates, without whom the characters wouldn't exist, the show wouldn't have happened. So thanks to him. Thank you.
Well, as Philip said, again, thanks to everyone at Yorkshire, in particular the crew who made it look so beautiful, and the sun didn't shine all the time, and the boys up at Yorkshire made it look as if it did. Thank you very much.
I'd like to thank the real Ma, that's Mrs. H.E. Bates. Thanks, Madge, you're wonderful. Cheers.
Of course, we have almost a full complement of Larkins here, but there's one key figure missing, Pa Larkin. Any idea where... yeah, exactly. Any idea where Mr. Jason is at the moment?
Oh, Danger Mouse? Oh, he's up north somewhere doing some other little job.
Well, we have Sybil Rusker up north. Perhaps by some strange fluke, some coincidence, she may well be within shouting distance of Mr. Jason. Let's go see if we can track him down. Sybil, are you receiving us? And by some curious quirk of fate, is the ubiquitous Mr. Jason nearby?
Hi, I can help you there, Jonathan, because he's here in hospital, would you believe, in Dewsbury. David, what are you doing in hospital?
Well, as you say, I'm in hospital. I'm up here in Leeds making a new series for Yorkshire called A Touch of Frost. So unfortunately, I can't be with you today, Jonathan, and members of the Variety Club, but I understand that you've awarded the personality, ITV Personality of the Year to the cast of Darling Buds of May. It's a great honour and something that we're all very proud of. And I know you've got the rest of the family there, and I send my love to them, Ma, Mariette, Charlie, and also all of the crew of Darling, their love to you as well. I'd just like to say about the award that you've given to us, you make us feel very proud, and in fact, it's what we would call a perfect award. Thank you. And Pam, if they've got any sausage sandwiches going, send us one, will you? Good luck.
Now, I'll level with you, ladies and gentlemen. I used to be a bit of a rock and roll animal. My main passion was hot new music and dances in preposterous clubs with ridiculous names. Between the ages of 14 and 25, I swung a pretty non-stop shoe, let me tell you, but these days, I'm afraid, my back goes out more often than I do. So, what first-class news that the winner of the Variety Club Award for Best Recording Artist goes to someone even a pin-scarred veteran of the punk rock wars like myself can recognise as an act built to last. His voice encompasses ennui and raunch, his songs haunt as well as bump and grind, and not surprisingly, his debut album topped the British sales list last year. Here's why. Best Recording Artist for 1991 is Seal.
With some 500,000 of his solo albums sold already, Seal Henry Samuel, born in Paddington, West London. His first solo single was Crazy, went to #1 in 3 countries and into the top 10 in a further 9.
First of all, may I say thank you very much, Variety Club. I feel very honoured to be representing the British pop industry in a way such as this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Seal. Although, of course, there's nothing new about a recording artist having a career with just one name like that. Even before Sting and Madonna, we had Lulu and Dana, and, of course, we must never forget Ambrose. Now, one for the teenagers there. Now, if you lose sound from us during the next award, don't panic. It merely means that the hotel is passing under a tunnel. In short, we're going back on the radio and announcing the winner of the BBC Radio Personality. He could have had a much easier life being a straightforward disc jockey, but then again, where's the fun in that?
Good afternoon, Steve. Out in the afternoon.
It's bizarre. In New York, the Dow Jones down 7 points lower at 2856. At home, the FT closed down 11.8.
Oh, okay, well, good luck, and I'll see if we can do that for you. All right, then. Bye-bye.
All right,
9 minutes after 5. Also in the news tonight, Christmas trees are plentiful and cheap this year. Good news. The Territorial Army, sadly, is to be cut by 10,000 as part of the UK's defence cuts. That's bad news, actually. And Cliff Richard says the band Guns N' Roses are a bad influence. That's why we like them, Cliff.
Hi, darling.
Hi, Sim. How you doing?
Fine, fine. Sorry I'm a bit late.
Do you want to drop off 4C for me? Yep. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not heavy at the top because it's Maastricht again in the Commons.
And I do commend it to the House. I commend it to the House.
Radio 1FM, 5:15, and the posse are here.
Yes, we are.
Okay, now we're looking at Christmas gifts, so what do you have for us? Recommend a Christmas gift,
Well,
please.
I like working in the kitchen, so I would like...
you?
Yes.
Yes.
Something like a wok, maybe, and a few kind of Chinese implements.
A nice wok if you can get it.
Not very good, know what I'm saying?
The Wimbledon Park depot has led to a number of trains out of Waterloo being cancelled this evening. Great news for you, right? Okay. That's it. Coming up, News 91, followed by Jackie B, Marky G, Manazik, Nikki Campbell, Bob Harris and Gary King. We'll see you tomorrow at 3. Have a nice night.
It's a wrap. With the rare sight of his shirt tucked in for once, please give up a hosanna to the godlike Steve Wright.
The electric hobbit, as I recall hearing him described once. Steve Wright, with Radio 1 since 1980.
Very well, Stephen.
Handling it well. Good evening. Well, what a shock, what a surprise. I have got my list here. Thank you very much to the Variety Club. We are honoured. Also to my wife, Cindy, for her support and let me stay out late. And the award, however, doesn't belong to me. It belongs to the posse who are here. So if we can get a shot of them. Nikki Hack, Mikey Wallmans, Richard Easter, and Mick Vilkoich, and we really do appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed. Get off now?
No. The question always comes up whenever I'm involved in TV meetings and stuff, and people are saying, "When are we going to lure?"
That in your dressing room.
It's my Merkin.
Could be
when
Elvis.
When are we going to lure Steve Wright on the TV?
Well, when someone asks.
Oh, don't be ridiculous, man. They're always knocking on your door.
I don't know. If somebody comes along with the right idea, we might do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we could well see it. And would it
You
be
never
with that bunch of miscreants you refer to as the posse over there?
Yeah, they'd be all right. Oh, I forgot to mention Rob Curling, by the way, for his inspiration.
We all noticed that, but we're glad you finally got around to it.
Yeah, an inspiration to us all. The most dangerous man on television apart from you.
Oh, thank you, Steve. Steve Wright, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Don't forget this, Steve. Well, I've said this before, but one of the most humiliating tasks that a TV host can take on board is to be asked to present an award to another TV host. The TV host we're about to honour has won the top BBC Television Personality Award, and I'm afraid worse still, he actually deserves it. Yet when our winner first began interviewing people, I confidently predicted he would never last. However, because of simple mass popularity, he has proved harder to get rid of than a 1979 Larder estate. I shall now take out a notebook while we watch him work, rest and play.
I was determined to show him that my old amphibian skills were still intact.
Looks easy, doesn't it? I got nowhere near it. I didn't say that would happen.
Actually, there was nothing to it, as long as Craig did the decent thing and held on. Two weeks of sensible eating had paid off. Having confined myself to one Doyle's seafood snack between meals and 2 bottles of short-length Chardonnay per day, I was as light as a feather.
What? What do you mean, how it's going?
There's always some smart-ass kid.
It's going well.
The Queen and the Duke then attended a special session of Congress. The Duke took one look at the assembled legislators and headed for the bar. The climax of the royal visit to America was the Queen's attendance at a gospel service. As the infectious rhythms pulsed and throbbed, the Queen was visibly affected.
Let's give a nice friendly round of applause to an up-and-coming kid in this business. Ladies and gentlemen, Clive James.
Clive James, educated at Sydney University, and for 10 years he was the television critic for the Observer newspaper.
In our office, I always try to talk about what we do, not because I feel the same way about the royal plural as the reigning monarch or the previous prime minister, but because what we do is done by a small army of people, actually a large army of people, most of them very young, all of them fanatically motivated. It's my name at the beginning of the program, but it's all our names at the end of the program that make it happen. Thank you very much.
Now, at the top of the show, we linked up with Sybil Wasco at Jimmy's Hospital, Leeds, and I don't know about you, but some of the staff looked oddly familiar to me. So, Sybil, is there some serious moonlighting going on up there?
Well, there is, Jonathan. Here at the hospital, the Children's Day Hospital, the Variety Club Children's Day Hospital, just James's Hospital in Leeds, which you might have remembered from the old Jimmy's series. You join us now, actually, in something called the Examination and Treatment Room. Again, it's bright and airy and colourful, and there's Benjamin over there and Amanda's over there. And this, would you believe, is Dr. Cliff Bailey. Now, he's something called a paediatric oncologist. What is it, Cliff?
Well, briefly, it's a children's cancer specialist.
And, you know, where's your white coat and stethoscope?
I'm afraid they didn't give me one. The whole idea of the specialist is to be informal, really to put everybody at their ease, to have a nice, quiet, informal atmosphere. Actually, quiet we don't actually achieve very much, informal we do. So we don't wear white coats. The nurses wear coloured tabards over their uniforms, just to try to, again, get all the formality out of coming to hospital.
The serious point to remember here, though, Cliff, is there's a lot of very poorly children make it to your examination room. How important has this day hospital been to your work with children's cancer?
Oh, it's critical. I mean, what you see around you here, we use to save the children actually being admitted to the hospital. They can come along. If they're having anything nasty done, we've got a special room next door. We can give them a brief general anaesthetic. They can come around here to recover. Sometimes they need blood transfusions, sometimes they need drugs which take all day to give. They can be round here, they can be in a nice, pleasant, informal atmosphere, nice TV to watch. It's great.
All right, Cliff, thanks very much. Join us again a little bit later. We'll see some of the children.
Sybil Wasco, ladies and gentlemen. Now, our next category takes us as far away from our first winner this evening, Chris Tarrant, as is humanly possible. And incidentally, that was also this evening's most requested seating plan. It is the award for Best Stage Actress. You know, it's easy to take our theatre for granted, but here is an artist whose care, passion and integrity the world has long accepted as setting the standard for her profession.
I'm such a fool, I'm such a fool. How many nights did he recite that poem to me? I'm a fool for love, I'm a born sucker. I'm just trying to stay alive. Ever since Deirdre and Patrick drowned, I've been only half alive. Perhaps I died with them. Perhaps it's just a shadow walking about. You can divide my life into two, before, after. I mustn't speak about. My friends begin to tiptoe out of the room when I speak about them. Isadora, you're being sentimental, they say. That is such a bad word in Europe. It's perfectly harmless in America. I am endlessly American. I looked up sentimental in the dictionary, having an excess of sentiment. I looked up sentiment, a mental attitude, thought or judgment permeated or prompted by feeling. Feeling. A dark fate descends on my life. My babies are snatched from me, but I mustn't show feeling. Ooh la la!
The Variety Club's stage actress for her performance in When She Danced is Vanessa Redgrave.
Vanessa Redgrave's first London performance was with Michael Redgrave, her father, in A Touch of the Sun. That was in 1958. Recently, she's been seen acting for the first time with her sister Lynn in Anton Chekhov's Three Sisters.
Well, I'm so nervous in case Jonathan Ross is going to ask me some questions. I'd just like to say to the chieftainess of the Barkers, Marcia Ray Radcliffe, thank you so much. Variety members, it's a privilege to get your award. And I hope the children of the Children's Day Hospital and the St. James's Hospital of Leeds, I hope you get better soon. Thank you very much.
The award for stage actor, and here we don't so much have a split decision as a double celebration. 10 or 12 years ago, it would have been almost impossible to imagine these two guys in tandem. While one was on BBC Two, eyebrow deep in the classics, the other was over on One getting big belly laughs with a primetime sitcom. At the time, Citizen Claudius or I, Wolfie seemed an unlikely project. Yet here they are, living proof it really is possible to escape the cosy, stifling pigeonhole that comes with a truly successful TV role. It's for their work in Beckett that we applaud them tonight.
What if the Archbishop of Canterbury is on the side of the king? Then his power is my power, and it can't hurt me.
Well, it's very ingenious, my lord, but don't forget the primate is chosen by free election.
No, don't you forget, what about the royal veto? If the elected candidate doesn't suit the king, he can send his own representative to the synod and veto their choice. And for once, Thomas, it works in my favour. Not for 100 years have they dare vote against the royal decision.
Well, it's very true, my lord. We all know your bishops. Which of them can you trust?
Who can I trust? You know who I can trust. Someone whose head is screwed on properly. Someone who isn't easily scared, not even by God. There is work for you to do, Thomas. You must go to England.
I'm at your command.
You haven't guessed why, have you?
No.
Very well. Here is your mission. You will take personal letters from me to every bishop in England containing... Guess what? Yes, I think you have. An expression of the royal desire to see you elected as primate of all England.
You are joking. I mean, look at me. A shining example of devotion and self-denial. You are joking. I know you are.
I'm being deadly serious, Thomas.
For God's sake, I'm not even a priest.
You're a deacon. That's a start. You pronounce your vows tomorrow, you'll be ordained in a month.
Have you even considered what the Pope will say?
He'll say what I pay him to say.
I don't think you are joking anymore. Please, don't do this to me.
Why? Why? Why ever not?
Because it scares me.
That is an order. Saxon.
If I become Archbishop, I can no longer be your friend.
The Variety Club has awarded Best Stage Actor for 1991 jointly to Derek Jacobi and Robert Lindsay.
Aside from I, Claudius, Derek Jacobi, of course, recently on the screen in Kenneth Branagh's films Dead Again and Henry V. Robert Lindsay has West End musicals to his credit, like Godspell, in which he played Jesus, and later Me and My Girl, and of course known for television roles like Citizen Smith, and more recently, GBH.
Alphabetical billing, you're first. Well, I am truly amazed to be receiving this award.
That's mine.
And I thank the Royal Variety Club. He does this to me in performance, too. Very much indeed, thank you.
I would like to congratulate the Variety Club for £7 million this year. I think it's quite remarkable. Congratulations to you all. And I think you've displayed remarkable tact in honouring the Archbishop of Canterbury and King Henry II. I think someone should have saved a lot of trouble before many years ago. Thanks very much. We both thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, one reason we should feel indebted to the Variety Club this evening is that they are sensible enough not to call the next category Best Newcomer. Dudes like this, Best Newcomer, invariably goes to some poor shocked soul who thought they were going to get the Lifetime Achievement Award. So let's talk of Most Promising Artist instead. Now, true, he has already had a brace of series on primetime ITV, and true, he's even headlined a West End musical, Me and My Girl. So surely it is the measure of people's confidence in him that they feel we're seeing but the tip of his professional iceberg. The club's Sir James Carreras Award for Most Promising Artist goes to the selfishly skill-overloaded Brian Connolly.
And it's a very proud day for Paddington, this. Seal was born there, as I said a few moments ago. So was Brian Conley. We saw there in that clip him making his West End debut in Me and My Girl at the Adelphi Theatre.
Oh. Chief Barker, honoured guests, my lords, dukes, duchesses, knights, dames and people of noble birth. Conservatives, socialists, wishy-washy, middle of the road, can't seem to make your mind up what to call yourself, Liberal Democrats. Vegetarians, carnivores, Weight Watchers Anonymous, Weight Watchers who are bloody obvious. Motorists, cyclists, ecologists, recyclists, bipeds, quadrupeds, mopeds, marsupials, extraterrestrials, British Rail employees, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope I've included everyone, thank you.
All right, and now with utmost respect to all previous winners, to an absolute belter of a category, the award for the top overall show business personality. Or perhaps we might subtitle it, Don't Let Being Bubbly Blind You, because as anyone in this game will tell you, the toughest gig of all is the one where you look like you're freewheeling along, having the time of your life, not a care in the world, while £1 million budget rests on your shoulders. The simple fact is, all the very best upbeat TV has a discipline made of steel at its core. Perhaps even genius at work. Now, I'm not going to saddle this recipient with a dreary old tag like genius, but when watching the end product, you do begin to wonder, how come a beat is never missed, an opportunity never neglected, how she's got good times down to such a relentlessly fine art, or indeed, how those hits just keep on coming.
And I can't wait to see who you're going to pick, so that's why I'm going to ask you straight away to fire away with those questions. I can't wait for this.
Right, I do aerobics, and my friends have nicknamed me Bendy because I can wrap my legs around my head. What nickname would suit you and why?
My nickname would have to be Gaza.
Oh. Have you got nice legs though? Do you want to show the audience your
I'll show the audience my old pins.
I think you are.
Yes, dear Dawn. Who are you going to go for?
Well, it's a hard choice. Yes. They're all wonderful. But my decision is number 2.
What can I say? You chose number 2. That was Toby from Sussex. Come in, Toby. Oh, actually, May, that looks super. And you know, I couldn't believe on the phone, even when I saw you in the flesh, that you are going to be 90 this May. I won't tell everybody what I'm going to...
And you will be 48 on the same day.
Simple, right? Nothing to it, right? Then try to imagine any of those hit shows without the governess, the 1991 Show Business Personality of the Year, the one and only Cilla Black.
It was 1963 when one Priscilla White rose to fame when she was discovered by the Beatles manager Brian Epstein. By the time she was 25, she had 2 #1 hits to her name.
Gosh,
Oh, yes, well, the secret's out, isn't it? Well, what can I say? Chief Barker, Marsha, ladies and gentlemen of the audience, I mean, I was absolutely gobsmacked when I heard that I was going to get this award. Absolutely thrilled. I was lying on the beach in Barbados, you know, put me order in for me holiday snaps from the Sunday Mirror. Yeah. And, yes, you know it is on holiday, you let it all hang out, and I certainly didn't I? When Bobby rushed up to me, my husband, he rushed up and said, "You have got it." I said, "I know I have, Bobby, but I'll diet when I get home. I promise to God I will." But he said, "No, you have been awarded the Showbiz Personality of the Year award, and really I am delighted. There's so many people who I have to thank, and you know, it'll be a very long list because this year is my 29th anniversary in show business, and I know. Somebody once said to me, you know, speeches, they should be like a lady's nightie, short enough to be interesting and long enough to cover the good points, and I hope I've done that today. Thank you very much, Variety Club. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. Now then, I think we just have time for one final visit to another veteran of the ceremony. Come in, Sybil Ruscoe up in Yorkshire.
Jonathan, this is where we all get a bit nosy. We're going to have a look at the superintendent physiotherapist suite, isn't it, on the door? Have a look in here. Fancy an afternoon of fun in there? Great, isn't it? Have a look at this as well. Along the corridors, more of this great, colourful. They're all doing all sorts of things in here. Ladies, can we interrupt the play? What are you all doing?
Well, we're all working with the children. They've all got various problems, and we're helping those problems through play therapy.
So you're all therapists. What
Yes.
sort of therapists are you?
I'm a speech and language therapist.
I'm a physiotherapist.
Occupational therapist.
And what sort of therapists are you two?
Heart and money-making therapist.
Gordon Strachan and Brian Robson. What are you guys doing here then?
So work at this puzzle to start. It's Michael showing us how to do this jigsaw puzzle.
Well, they always say footballers need a bit of help. You know, you guys getting plenty of therapy here this afternoon?
That's right, the ladies are looking after us well. I think we're improving.
What do you think of the hospital?
It's smashing. You know, it's a fantastic hospital, and you know, to the Variety Club and the Health Authority of Leeds, I think they've done a tremendous job because everybody in the north of England can use this hospital.
All right then, well, Brian Robson and Gordon Strachan, thanks for joining us this afternoon. We'll see you later.
Thank you, Sybil. Ladies and gentlemen, we approach the apex of a fine parade. This is the Variety Club's very special award, which is given to someone who has made an exceptional contribution to their profession over the span of a whole career. Here to introduce the winner, please give a generous palm to Mr. Michael Caine.
The special award today goes to a director who has been very important in my life. As a matter of fact, absolutely pivotal to my career, and a wonderful, charming man. I first worked for him 35 years ago in a film he made, and I had 2 lines, but being a man so discerning about talent and possible stardom, he cut both of them out of the movie. Realizing his mistake, and quick as a flash, 15 years later, he gave me the lead in another movie, for which I was nominated for an Oscar, and never a man to miss an opportunity. Quick as a flash, 15 years later, he gave me another role in a movie, for which I got an Oscar nomination. That was 8 years ago. I'm still waiting for another script from him. But he is a wonderful, wonderful guy, and one of the kindest and really nicest men in this business. And here are some examples of his work.
Q40 up. Squadron scramble!
You know what? She was quite happy them months she was carrying, which to my mind was a bit out of place in a way. Her not being married, see? Mind you, she came over quite beautified for a time, especially in the early months. And I told her, I says, blimey girl, you ain't as ugly as I thought.
I wouldn't be surprised if they all burst out into applause, because I've been rescued from loneliness by Jeanette and Dougie from Manchester.
Make yourself at home. Now, have you got a jacuzzi?
No.
Well, maybe it's just the thing you've been waiting for. Because you always wanted a jacuzzi, didn't you, Jeanette?
And Dad dreams about getting a jacuzzi. Michael Caine's got one, you know.
So we get this jacuzzi like, but what we found was we couldn't fit it in our bathroom. So what I did was...
You built an extension.
I built an extension, didn't I?
It's a good job we're not having soup, or I'll put my head in it and drown myself.
The Variety Club of Great Britain has awarded their special award to Lewis Gilbert.
72 years old this year, Lewis Gilbert. He started his career as third assistant to Alexander Korda. He's made 36 feature films in all. The most recent ones, Shirley Valentine and Stepping Out.
Well, at least I didn't get it for the most promising newcomer, did I? That's for sure. When I was about 11 years old, I was acting in a film called Dick Turpin. I was asked by a reporter what I wanted to be when I grew up. I told him I wanted to be a film director until I was 60. When you're 11 years old, 60 seems a long way off. It's still a long way off, but now I have to look backwards. You know, people are always bemoaning the death of British films, but I remain optimistic. We have great young talent, actors, directors, and writers, and sooner or later the government will realise a strong and stable film industry is worth investing in. Trade follows the film. Finally, my wife, who has been behind every one of my films, encouraging me after a failure, and keeping my feet on the ground after a success, which is quite difficult. But of all the awards I've received, to be honoured by the Variety Club is certainly a landmark, particularly because of the wonderful work they do, and I thank them very, very much for this great honour, and I thank you all. Good night.
So there you are, that's the show. It's over. Congratulations and hats off to all our winners, and well done to all the rest of you for the expert way you polished off your lunch. You know, in many ways, taking on the job as host on this sort of do is a no-win situation for the old career. I mean, you can mess it up in a big way and never work again, or else be really good and get asked back year after year, which means you never get to win one of the things yourself. Well, there's no business like it, and you at home, as always, have the very best seat in the house. So from Sybil and Jimmy's in Ross here at the London Hilton Hotel, my name is Jonathan Ross. Goodbye.